Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do Spawn 11 from Image Comics made by Todd McFarlane. So I thought to myself, it would be cool if you do a Spawn comic, right? I mean, from back in the day. And then I thought, okay, but which Spawn issue I want to review? And because there's a couple of one-shots with Spawn, but also some cool storylines back in the day. And then I decided, you know what? I can do multiple comics with 4 or 5 issues with one story, and I decided, I just picked this one because I had some fun with it. This is totally nonsense. Okay, let's dive in. Let's go. Covered by Todd McFarlane. I love his art, right? But it's just unfortunate that he's not just like Jim Lee. He's now a big shot. He's just doing all this great stuff with all these toys. I got this Alan Scott action figure, I got it here somewhere, and he's making bank. So, but I still love his art, and I wish he'd just go back once in a while and does a couple of comics, right? Anyway, so it seems that in the last issue 10, he had an adventure with an aardvark. That's a whole lot of story that I'm not going into. But he's sleeping, and he's sleeping in his alley because he's he's homeless and all that stuff. And so he's been waking up by people that live here in the alley with him, and so he's spasming out a little bit. And so say, hey Al, we know you're a long time. You're lying here, and that's all good and all. But who the hell are you? And he says, well, that's a long story. I don't have a punchline. Let's just say that I noticed that I'm kind of like Boots over here. That's this guy. He's so in love with his boots of his, that what we call him, that's all he's got. So he takes care of them. And all I've got is you guys. In this alley, you're my friends, and this is my home. Right? Wait a minute. Frank, what? Wait a minute, Frank Miller's? What? I didn't see that at all. Okay, that's new. Well, it's not new. I mean, this is coming from the 90s, right? But I know, I'm a little bit shocked. Okay, no biggie. Anyway, but then there's some kind of a sound, and Spawn wants to check it out, and he recognized the sound because he was in the military, and it's some kind of a devastating weapon. It's called a handheld tank stopper, and then a girl flies in his lab with very high speed, and then he's getting shot in the back, and this girl's dead, right? Well, this homeless guy's all, oh no, what's going on? So who did this, right? So it's this guy with a very I love this Jesus Christ, exaggerated style, right? So he says, you son of a bitch, you killed my pal. And Spawn has a big hole in his chest or in his back. Maybe we'll kill you too, you drunk old turd. I've got a case of the nastiest today. And Spawn says, me too. And then he just rises up. And he says, this is not me happening. And then, so the bad guy runs away. And he says, and this homeless guy says, I don't get it, Al. First you're dreaming about talking aardvarks, then you're dead, then you're not dead, and then you got that punk right here where you want him, then you let him go, and there's still a hole through you bigger than my fist. I'm confused. So Spawn uses his powers because he, I forgot the whole thing about when he uses powers, it drains him somehow, and then when he doesn't have it anymore. I don't know how. It's a very long time. I can figure it out, but I don't want to. Anyway, so he heals himself, and so this guy is all confused. He said, "There's no hole in you." Is this a pinup? I guess so. Yeah, this is not Todd McFarlane's art. Looks great though. So Spawn wants to check it out. What's going on, right? So he's following this guy. I love the colors, by the way. The colors are really nice. So he goes to this building. And it seems that this guy's reporting to someone, and he talks about Spawn, what he see there, and that he is, taking down one of the creeps. And but then he's all weirded out. So Spawn says, creeps, nerds. gang names, street names. The plot thickens. So and then we're getting introduced to Byron. That's a big feat, man. Cyborg enforcer for the nerd gang. Big and mean and stupid as they come. And also, the lettering is just the other way around. So he says, nerds stay clean. It's the rule. Or nerds stay clean. So yeah, they're suggesting that he's, snorting cocaine because of what he saw with a guy with a big hole and a cape and all that stuff. So this nerd says, we stay clean, Boomer. We don't do drugs. We don't sell drugs. We eat our junk food and we steal our electronic equipment and we kill creeps. So this guy says, well, I'm clean, Norton, I swear. We don't swear either, Boomer. We do what we're told. White middle-class computer geek street gangs. So this nerd says, I done what you told me, Norton. I did the creep chick. I'm just telling you there's a problem in the alley we're supposed to take. Maybe we should stay away from it. Stay away from it? The alley will give us a corridor right into the heart of the creep turf. Besides, they want it now. And what do the nerds do? Nerds kill creeps. We are nerds. And then he accidentally kills him. Right? So Spawn thinks a turf war. And Spawn's homes is right of the middle of it. Power's depleted, fixing his chest. Too many guns down there to go after them right now. It's a wrong time for an attack. He learned to tell the difference back in the war. So he goes back, right, to make a plan. But then meanwhile, this dead chick is still lying here in that alley. I love this particular shot here. So this poor guy says, hey, what are we going to do about it? Yeah, we got us a problem, Boots. We can't leave a dead body lying around here. And we can't stick around. If we do, the cops will be all over us. So, and then the creeps gang comes in, and we've been introduced to James. James is a cyborg enforcer for the creep gang. Big and mean, but rather emotional. So they are crying about, Buffy here, and he wants to have revenge, right? And he takes this poor guy, and he says, well, first I'm going to show those nerds the alley belongs to the creeps. I mark it in blood. You look like you've got lots of blood in you. And he's being shot from behind because, Spawn has, taken up the weapons. He wants to sparingly use his power, or maybe not at all. And so he's shooting and shooting, right? And we have also a poster by Geof Darrow. I'm not all too familiar with this guy, but I believe he did Shaolin Ninja Shaolin from Dark Horse, but I'm not entirely sure. Something with Ninja Shaolin cowboy thing. But this art is extremely detailed. I wish it was colored, right? I love black and white, but sometimes I just want to see things in color. Looks fantastic. No. And no Rob Liefeld. So, James, is it James? I forgot already. That's so bad. Yes, James. You coming at me like this in my hour of grief. You're not showing me one shred of compassion. So Spawn says, this is not good. Even if I beat this guy, there will be more from both sides. I've got to create the situation. Of course. It's so simple. So then he uses his hellborn power, and then he does this. So he's just all intimidating, all these creepy, flashy images with demons and monsters. And he says, the battle will be fought here. The war will end. All creeps will die. And he says psychological warfare. First step in creating the situation. So all these people are scary and they don't know what to do, right? He says, I'm so upset. This isn't fair at all. And then he does the same with the creeps, with the nerds. And so he goes there. The war will end, and the alley will be your grave. All nerds will die tonight at midnight. Face us now, or cower and cringe until we hunt you down. And this guy says, well, at least it's going to be a hologram, right? Because they are nerds. So they come together at night, and I forgot that Spawn was a little bit more cartoony back in the day. So all of these people try to kill each other, and Spawn then comes out of this dumpster. And everybody's now dead except for Byron. Creeps kill nerds, nerds kill creeps, all creeps die, all nerds die, only Byron still lives. Byron rules the alley, Byron owns the alley. And like I said, it's a double spread page with a lot of stuff going on. Look at this, man. This looks so cool. I mean, even if it's a more exaggerated cartoony style, there was always something special about Todd McFarlane's art. I know. It just looks so incredibly fun. And I believe that's, the most word I'm going to use with his comics. Fun, right? It's not always good. His writing style is not always that fantastic, but his art is always fun to look at. Just look at this. Anyway, so he says, hey, you want to play Alien? And then he says teleportation is the worst. But it's the only way. Being ripped to atoms, scrambled into a living stream of energy, might as well nosedive into a meat grinder. So Byron says, hey, where does he go? And I don't know, he's a pretty strange guy. It's the armor that's the problem. 5-layer Kevlar with a splash of almost nuke-proof proton-heavy alloy. The armor's tough. But then, he does indeed the alien, so he bursts out. And Byron is dead. Now, I believe at the printer there were some color errors, as you can see here. So the colors outside of the lines here, the drawings, unfortunately. Otherwise, it looks way better. So more printing error, but that's how it goes, I guess. That's basically the end. So this homeless guy says, "Hey Al, I just gave up to figure out who you are, but you are here, and you're a friend of ours. What I'm asking is what about us? What about the alley? Yeah, we let the cops clean it up then. We move back in, and life goes on." And he throws away the head. And that's the end of the book. And you have some fan art. Yeah, fan art. Like I said, I did some simple story. I don't want it to go all in this, Hellbolgia and Violator. I mean, I could do that. Maybe I have to think about that. Anyway, so I think this is a nice, fun one-shot with, one of the all great artists, creators, back in the day. Spawn guys, let me know what you think about it. See you next time. Bye-bye.